Alright, here I am again, winding down. Just cut grass. Oh, brutal. Hot and such. Anyway, really isn't that hot today. It's this humidity. It's just, ugh. Anyway, where was I? Oh, I'm making a video. Alright, on this general subject of what the hell is an atheist supposed to be? This is sort of annoying. So Skeptical Heretic's got himself into two arguments. One about whether or not religion is just butt crazy. And if it wasn't for the fact that it's a majority insanity, we'd call it what it is. Mentally destructive. It's a fantasy belief, wishful thinking turned into a reality, completely immature mentally, and certainly one could argue it is a byproduct of conditioned disorders, a syndrome of mass structure, not unlike a lot of syndromes where people accept being battered or accept being something else because they don't think there's any choices because everybody else is doing it, kind of thing. Whatever. And religion has all those components. It certainly, definitely relies for its existence, on getting kids early and filling their mind with that rubbish. Religiosity at any rate. It does breed fairly true. But even when it goes sideways, somebody chooses a new religion, their psychology is religious throughout the whole process. Even these spiritualist, atheist, pantheist types haven't really grown up out of their religion. What the fuck? Another tree. I mean, man, they are coming down. These are all like half blown overs, I guess. Shit. I mean, I just cleared this path and now there's, two new trees on it. Shit. It's all this damn climbing is, it's wearing me out. See? I mean, I have to do this all over the place. I gotta do this. This one isn't too bad. See, I can climb that one without too much trouble. But, it does, my path is all over the fucking place. It's like 3 miles long now. No, really, it really isn't. But anyway. So that's the one argument. It's just, why placate religion? Why not just call it what it is? An artifact. A silly, stupid artifact. And it only exists because of our inability, our reluctance to change, our psychological resistance to change. And that's it. It has no... There's just no defending it rationally. It has no rational defense. It's irrational belief. So anyway, then the second argument is about this black thing in terms of the black Christians and the slaves adopting the Christian religion. And, current blacks still clinging to that artifact, to that tradition. And somebody calling that Uncle Tomish. And I certainly agree with that sentiment that current blacks should be way above it. And you see some of them do it. They switch over to being Muslim, which isn't any better, of course, but they do protest whitey's religion, and that sort of does make some sense. But anyway, so then it's just this context of how religion was used and how the slaves were manipulated, the house slaves versus the field slaves. You can go through all these different scenarios and all the mind games that were played with these people. And it's not about assigning blame. It's just about recognizing that it's time to grow out of these traditions and say, look, if you're black in America, you ought to know that the Christian God is a weak God. Because it couldn't stop even its own people, even its own believers, from maliciously abusing you. That ain't the kind of God you want to be praying to. It's a weak-ass God. And that, at minimum, should be some of the logic applied. That you were manipulated by these. Whitey wanted the blacks to be religious. They wanted them to be afraid of a God. They wanted them to thou shalt not kill, and to accept ideas like slavery as if God sanctioned it. And that, yes, in heaven you will be free, but not till you get there. Some kind of crap like that. It was another tool of manipulation. It was the only book they had access to a lot of times too, so it was the only way they could learn how to read and a lot of other stuff. So that's where this whole Bible thing became part of their life. But it's a bad habit, and it's time to break it. It's time to say we don't play that no more. Homie, don't play that. Yeah, well, say it. Quit playing it. It's bad mojo. Yeah, bad voodoo. Stay the hell away from it. It's crap. So then my take on the whole thing, an overview, is this idea of, weak atheism versus strong atheism. So I would argue that strong atheism is evolution. Take it for what it is. Recognize it. That's our origin. We're crude animals. We have a capacity to think better than we feel. And we should apply that capacity wherever possible. And, try to make the game more elegant than the crude crap that we've been handed. We've been handed a lemon. Let's make lemonade, kind of a thing. And, no need for any deities, special forces, any of that crap. It's a deterministic universe anyway. We're just doing the eddy in the stream thing. There's no special sauce in there. There's no special forces. There's just gravity and chemical adhesions and molecular bonds and a flow through time. And let's recognize that this is the nature of the game. There is no glorious singularities. There's no intelligence really doesn't have any other function than to clean up the mess we make as animals, is to basically find leashes that fit us and chains strong enough to control us, and to basically use a few rewards and treats and punishments to get the minky to behave halfway decent. And that's all there is here. There's no other game to play. We're just hungry, horny, ego-driven little monsters. And if you have a brain, you know that you got to control that shit. You got to do things rationally and reasonably. You got to have purpose and function. You got to put in place systems that create things like justice and fairness, and they make words like deserve relevant. This is what an intelligence will do faced with this circumstance. We've been given something fundamentally broken. It's our job as an intelligence to say, let's fix it. Very not complicated. Maybe if you're a real atheist, that's the truth. There's nothing else. There's no whim, bang, smash, crash. There's nothing else. There's evolution. You're replicating for the sake of replicating molecule, and the only thing interesting about you is your eccentricity. Yes, you're preposterously complex. Preposterously, you got a zillion little wires. You're a bundle of bullshit. But it's just that, a bundle of bullshit. None of those wires have anything to do with being singularity, being accomplishment, going somewhere, doing something. All these wires have to do with is, keeping this thing alive and making it an aggressive player in the survival game, in the king and the mountain game. And it's the very game that the intelligence should find obnoxiously stupid. The intelligence says, no, you don't fight to the death to climb a mountain of doo-doo, to stick your flag of victory in it. That's not what something with a brain does. Something with the brain says, I either make a better game or I deconstruct the pile. I wind this mess down and, put it back in the reclining position. It's over. So anyway, and then there's the rest of the atheists, all these pussy make-up phantasmagorical spidey sense stories and, reinvent their gods, come up with some new mojo superpowers. Now we're X-Men, then we could be W-Men, and we could be Y-Men, and then Z-Men, and then we can invent new letters to be. And, they're just being gamed by the game. The DNA molecule, the dumb DNA molecule, is outplaying them. And they're sort of an embarrassment to atheism because they haven't figured out how to be anything but a monkey. All they did was take the stupid God collar off, and they didn't recognize that you can't let the monkey free because monkeys are fools and idiots, and they make messes. Okay, monkey in the china shop ain't a good idea, and life is full of precious commodities. And you got to be very careful in your gameplay in this world, because stupid little mistakes can break an awful lot of glass. And that's just the truth. So grow up, smell the evolution, see the evolution, breathe the evolution, recognize the evolution, and recognize that the real value of your intelligence is to overcome it. It really is. There's nothing else to do with intelligence but fix the game. If you're using your intelligence to play a bad game, you haven't understood what intelligence is. You haven't really got it. You're, wise by a half or something. You're just a few wheels short of a full deck or something. Anyway, that's probably enough. Longish day. And, I'm just kind of done in. A lot of kinks. I'm just getting too old for this shit. I've been saying that for a long time now. I was born too old for this shit. That's the truth of it. Really was. I kind of knew I was fucked right from the start. I had a bad feeling. I woke up on Earth and I had a bad feeling that this was not going to be good. I was right. So anyway, I should run or something, but I could barely walk. So anyway, till next time. And such and so forth and whatnot.